Namaskar, greetings and gratitude. I welcome you all to another inspirational Star Talks. This time, it is episode number 120. And on the hot seat with me is Toastmaster Babu Narayan. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, Dr. Preeti, and so nice to see you on a very special podcast. And thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure, and I am honored. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Toastmaster Babu Narayan is the ex general manager of a multinational trading and manufacturing company in Oman. He earned a degree in civil engineering. He started his Toastmasters journey in Muscat as founder of a club there and continues the journey after relocation to Mumbai, where he has been area director and division director in District 98. This is so wonderful. I welcome you
Thank
again,
you.
sir.
Thank you so much.
So, sir, please throw some light on your belief. Anything you do for your parents is very little if you compare the sacrifices they have made for you.
I think the one thing I always believe in is that the generation today and perhaps the generations to follow are in a way quite fortunate if one compares the life that existed of our fathers or our forefathers as compared to what it is today. And I'm talking in terms of the comforts, the gadgets, uh, the pleasures that we have in life today. I still remember uh, in those days when we were growing up, we did not have, like most of the families would vouch for, no washing machines at home. Probably the fridge had just come in. I'm talking of the 70s, 60s, and 70s. Uh, I was born in 56, so for me, the first 15 years up to 70 have been the growing years. So in those days, we hardly had access to any of these things. So for me, the kind of, and we led a good life. It's not as if we were deprived of anything. But when I look back and see how our parents brought us up and how we grew, it was with all these kinds of comforts and the access that we have to conveniences today. So if I look back at that and compare with what we have today, I think they've really done tremendously for all of us. I'm sure yourself included and some of our guests here to have brought us up in an environment without depriving us of anything, but with all those challenges that they had. So I think those are the kind of sacrifices which I still, look at and wonder how they were able to do it. And I think we should be quite grateful to that whenever we take our next step in life. So that for me is a great thing. That's what I call a
Yes.
sacrifice.
Well said. Well said. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. I remember the first time when the fridge came to the house and when we got all this at our place. Yes, absolutely. Those luxuries are very easily available to our children.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
also when my father, in fact, he came from a small village in South India, and he had dreams, like many of us have in our lives, and he gave up his life there at a very young age to come here and start his living. And again, this was the late 40s, where he was coming to a strange city. Mumbai was still a strange city for people like him. So for him to come up, leave everything behind. In fact, he even decided that he would give away his house to his cousin. You need a
Great.
big heart for that. So all that I would say is something which I have learned from, and it's a great thing which has remained with.
Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely. Sir, we would want to know who is your icon, whom you revere.
Well, yeah. There are many icons in life for different reasons. But like I've always said, the one icon which I still look up to, he's no more, of course, is my late father. Because as I was growing up and being the eldest in the family, uh, and I've never been a hostel person. I've always been a day scholar. So a lot of my years have been spent at home. And as I was growing up, I was always interacting with my parents. And he was one person who probably, I would say, was an epitome of selflessness, where he put others above himself. So that is one quality which has always remained with me, where you always feel that there are a lot of people around you who deserve so many things which perhaps they don't have, and you yourself are fortunate enough, maybe because of circumstances, because of your birth, because of family issues or whatever, that you're more fortunate than many people. So this is probably one thing that I've learned from humility and being kind to people. And the fact that he used to share things with everyone, share his time, maybe you can say share whatever little riches he had, share his kindness. So these are all the things that still are part of me, and I would like to take it forward. So for me, he has been uh, an icon for life. But then along the years, you come across so many different people, and specifically, if I have to uh, mention another name, in fact, not really attached to me in my life, since I'm part of Toastmasters, I look up to one person, the ex-president of the US, Barack Obama, whom I still revere for his public speaking skills. So whenever I'm in Toastmasters, for me, he is someone I really look up to. And there are many others, of course, for various facets and dimensions in your life. So I'm sure many of you also have different icons like that.
Absolutely. And when I come to Toastmasters, I always look up to you. Thank you. Thank you for being my icon. Thank you.
So nice of you to say that. Thank you.
So, what are your life principles?
Ah, one of the life principles, and it's because that we all hanker after money and riches in life, which is fair enough. You do need to have a certain kind of stuff in the bank for you to really live a good life. But I always believe that you should hanker after money and riches up to a point where they can take care of your needs. We all have our own needs in life, and we should hanker after money for that. But when it goes beyond that, and when money starts consuming you and you become the slave, that is when things start going a little wrong. And then you might get into bad practices, and then you don't use the money for the right reasons. So that is when one has to be careful. You can use money, build up your bank to an extent, work hard, that you don't have to struggle in life. Use money for all those purposes. But when you start realizing that money is trying to control you, I think that's when you have to be careful. So, my advice to people, if at all I can call it, is that definitely you should strive to go after money, because that is what you, your family, people around you uh, will need. But beyond a point, I think you should be very careful. And if you really think that you don't need that, then do charities, do whatever you can. But never become a slave to money. That is one thing I have always believed in.
Wonderful. Absolutely correct. Absolutely right. Sir, if you were given some free time, what would you choose to do?
Pardon?
If you were given some free time, what would you choose to do?
Well, actually, these days, well, I've hung up my boots in the corporate life. So most of the time is free time. But then, as I tell people, I'm busier now than I was before in corporate life. If I can call this really a free time, I use it for a lot of services. I'm part of the society committee, so I believe in giving whatever I have learned back to the society. So I'm the chairman and secretary of a couple of societies here.
Okay.
Um, and then, of course, yes, you always wouldn't mind some money or the moolah coming in. So I
Mm.
dabble in the stock markets a little bit here and there. I don't do reckless kind of investing. I have invested from the time I think I was in college, and which is one of my other principles, that if you have to invest, I think you should invest in good education, and also, like most people say, invest in savings here, so that you have built up the nest for the future, which is what I have been trying to do. And then, of course, I am a very strong. I have liked Hindi music, old Hindi music, and if at all I have to unwind, then probably go back to my old Hindi music. And of course, reading, all kinds of reading, is something which I can never live without. And what people in my at my own home tease me is that till today, from the day maybe I started to learn to read, there's not been a single day, except where circumstances did not permit, that I have not picked up the morning newspaper to read. It is still part of my life. Even if I have to go a few miles to buy one, I would still do it, though it doesn't fit into the format of the current generation. So these are a few fetishes, or the things that I do, and it makes life much more pleasurable, I would say.
Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. Why do you consider yourself as jack of all and master of none?
Yeah. See, I when I started off my career, after I had passed out from school, and of course, maybe I can say that I got out with top grades, which enabled me to take a profession, or a of my calling. I could have gone for any kind of profession, or in any college. But then you always have that dilemma: okay, which is the best profession? And in those days, it used to be engineering, medicine, and the law. And I was so confused. I asked my dad. He said, "Everyone goes for commerce. You choose engineering. Be a scientist. Be." And it was almost as if I said, "Okay, if you told me that, I'll do it." So, but I was interested more in arts. I loved reading, as I told you. I loved the languages, and these were the subjects in school which I liked. Geography, even today, like I remember, our pastime in those days used to be, okay, can you tell me the capital of this country? Can you tell me the currency of this country? So we used to enjoy all of that, which I don't really find in many of the kids today, though they have their own venues or avenues for it. So these used to be my own, I used to find pleasure in this. So my heart used to be in many of these subjects. But then, obviously, if you have to make a career, you have to choose from one of these. And then after engineering, again, I said, okay, now there is something else left, a vacuum in my life. What do I do? And that's when I took up I applied for admission to the Bajaj Institute of Management, and I was fortunate enough to get in. And that sort of charted a different course for me. And there we dabbled in different subjects: marketing, finance, administration, humanities, purchase, so many other things. So the point was that after I passed out, then again there was a dilemma. What do you choose? Yeah, either you go for a marketing or a finance, because those were the fields that used to pay well enough. So then reluctantly, I took up one of these subjects. So all the time I was on a path, but somewhere down there I felt, okay, probably I was not touching, or scratching the passions that I had. So always it used to be a sort of potpourri of so many things in life, where career was there, but I also indulged in the things that I liked. And then when I went to the Gulf again, after about 7 years of working in India, I joined a company which typically sort of fitted or gave me an opportunity to deal with multi products, multi nationals, different nationalities of people, We used to deal with furniture. We used to deal with industrial goods. We used to build steel boats in Oman. I was also part of an airline setup in Tanzania. It was a motley of things, but I felt nice because I was into so many things. My engineering helped, my management helped, my arts helped, so I've always felt that I've been all over the place without being in the center of a core activity, but I quite enjoyed all of those. And today it has helped because I'm into doing society services, I'm into Toastmasters, I do travel, I like music, reading. So I think if you are able to be a little multi-dimensional in what you do and what you see, to a great extent it helps to pursue those areas which you wanted to, rather than being, in one area.
Absolutely correct. So, this is rightly you've said to yourself, Jack of all. Understood. Wonderful. Wonderful. Although you have been talking all the time about it, but still, we would want to know, do you want to add more? What do you do after your retirement and how do you keep yourself busy? Do you want to add more to this question?
Well, actually, you will not believe I have been a Toastmaster since almost 2001. I also feel it's such a long journey, except for a few years in Muscat when the Toastmasters movement had closed down. And if there is one activity which I still enjoy doing and I've remained, that is Toastmasters. And the one reason that I really enjoy being a part of is that, like I always say, of course, apart from the communication and leadership skills, which is fine, which is what Toastmasters is all about. But for me, it has been about networking. I come into contact with people from so many different fields and professions. I'm talking to you now. I don't know. We may have met, yes, somewhere, but probably this is a platform which gives the opportunity. I interact with people, probably what, 18, 20-year olds, 25-year olds, young uh, kids, very bright kids who come up with so many different innovations and ideas. And when you speak to them, you sort of, probably a little bit of that youth also comes into you. A lot of those ideas open up your own minds. So for me, this has been one great platform where I'm able to, even though sometimes I do have, my family keeps asking me, I mean, my wife in particular, who's your first wife? Is it Toastmasters or is it me? So,
Oh, yeah.
but that's a lighter note. But this is a platform which I think I have benefited greatly, not purely from the core program itself, but
Mm,
in so many other ways. Like I said, networking, and also more importantly, it has rekindled the reading habit. Somewhere down the line, I had lost it, no time for it. But now I'm forced to get back to books, to get back to a lot of things, where you are, and it's a self development exercise, like we were talking before the show. Learning never ends. So I think it has
absolutely.
to go on till your last breath. So if you're able to have something which forces you, urges you to do it, well, nothing like it. And Toastmasters for me has been one such platform. So
Wonderful.
that's here, and that's where I spend a lot of time today, apart from the
Yes.
other things that I mentioned to you.
Yes. Today also, I believe you are going somewhere for the Toastmasters.
Yes, yes, we have what is called a district conference. So we have it's a contest really, and we are going to listen to the best of the district. We have something called the humorous speech contest and the evaluation speech contest. So I really enjoy. Sometimes we take part in different ways, and sometimes we are just listeners or in the audience. So either way, it's a phenomenal experience, and I urge all the listeners here. Whoever they should also be part of this in some way or the other, even
Yeah.
as a guest. That'll be nice.
So, what is the role that you are playing today?
No, today I actually I'm not taking up any role because my daughter's wedding is coming up. So I said, keep me out of this. But perhaps for the
Fine.
next, yeah, either as a convener or we have something
Right.
called a contest chair or as a judge. I've been doing a lot of these roles. So yeah,
Yes.
one of these. So that's
Wonderful.
good.
Great. Wonderful. So now, sir, let's have a quick rapid fire round.
Okay.
Just two, three questions, not
Sure,
many.
sure, sure. Sure.
So please tell us about one of your biggest regret.
I think some of my, I mean, one, I would club it as academic regret. Uh, Somehow I have always been wanting to be a naval architect in life. You know, my father used to be uh, working at the Mazagon Docks Limited. It's a shipbuilding company. So he used to take us to the docks, and we used to see the ships being commissioned and launched and all that. So always, I am somewhere. I said, "Oh, I think I should be on this ship in some way or the other." And naval architect used to be. It's not a hardcore engineering job. It was the administrative function, where you get to see the world along with your making a lot of money as well. So I always used to harbor that ambition, but unfortunately, that course was offered only by the IITs in those days, and I made a desperate attempt to get into IIT, and it was quite difficult. So yeah, in those days, I used to have that feeling that did I miss out on this? And then, of course, when I joined engineering, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer because it is like an engineering which encompasses so many different fields. But again, I couldn't make the cut there. So these are the few things in life which I feel, I still have some regrets. But then I've moved on from there, and I've gotten into a management degree and so many other things later on that perhaps it compensates in some way for those regrets which I had.
Okay. Nice. So another one liner coming up. Your one big achievement.
Yeah, I would probably say my admission to the Premier Management Institute after my engineering days. Like I said, I used to hanker after something. And the one reason I say that is because in those days, uh, the class was a group of 50, and the number of people who would, apply used to be around 5,000, 10,000. So for me, I thought, I still feel that, well, I did something that day which probably helped me get into a premier school of management. So I still reckon that as one of the achievements in life till date, which has taken me places.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. My next question to you. One thing that you would want to be in your next birth.
Uh, Frankly, the one thing that I would want to be in my next birth is to be myself, son of the parents that I had. They are no more now. If I can be the son of the same parents, well, nothing like it, because there is so much I have learned. And I think there is probably a lot more that I could have if they have lived longer. So maybe I will meet them in my next birth and go on with life from there on.
Wonderful. Blessed your parents as well to have a son like you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, my last question to you.
Yeah.
So, what would we call Mr. Babu Narayan in one sentence?
Well, I don't know whether I am that, but I am a bit of a perfectionist. If you want that one word, we can have a debate on whether that's a good thing to be or not. But because whenever I take up something, I try to ensure that I do it to the best of my ability, and I don't try to cut corners. So you can describe me as that.
Absolutely, you are a perfectionist, and we've come to this day after so many discussions. And
Oh yes,
yes,
oh
you
yes,
wanted to make it so perfect, and I'm sure it is perfect. Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. I really enjoyed being on your show, and I think you're doing a wonderful job. And like I
Thank
said, I do not belong to the land of celebrities, but then for you to have had me on the show itself, it's an honor and pleasure for me.
Definitely, you are my star personality, and you are there on my personality wall already. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you
much.
for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. And nice to have been on the podcast today.
Thank you.
And
My
all the
pleasure.
best to you as well for your future podcasts and your own field of activity. I'm sure you're doing a great job, and please keep going at it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, my dear audience, for being with us on this wonderful chat today. I will come back with another personality who has inspired so many lives. Thank you, sir. All the best to you. Thanks.
Thank you very much.